I'm Brianna, 32, from Reno, Nevada. My boyfriend, Kyle, and I had been together for almost 3 years. We lived in my condo, split expenses, and even talked about starting a family someday. About 2 months ago, Kyle said he needed to temporarily stay with his cousin across town because of plumbing issues in the building. I was confused. Our plumbing was fine, but he insisted it was about his cousin's apartment, and he had to help out. I believed him. He still came by a few nights a week, slept in my bed, and left early for work. It wasn't until a mutual friend sent me a photo that everything collapsed. The picture was from Instagram, Kyle at a dinner party, smiling with a woman I'd never seen, his arm around her like they'd been dating forever. The caption: "Love building a home with you." Home. I called the friend who posted it. She told me, awkwardly, that Kyle had been living with that woman, Megan, for at least a month. They'd moved in together. Everyone thought we had broken up. We hadn't. He was using my place as his backup when things got tense at Megan's. I felt sick. I didn't confront him. Not immediately. Instead, I changed the locks, packed up everything he left at my condo, and mailed it to Megan's address, the one I found through Zillow, based on the background of the photo. In the box, I added a note for Megan, just returning what doesn't belong here anymore. Good luck. Kyle texted me a week later, "You humiliated me." I didn't answer. He already did that himself. The first time I noticed something was off was 6 months ago. Kyle started working later at his marketing firm, missing our Thursday night tradition of takeout and true crime documentaries. He blamed a new client, a boutique hotel chain that needed an urgent rebrand. I supported him because that's what partners do. I even packed his favorite lunches on the days he claimed to have late meetings, turkey and provolone on sourdough with extra pickles. "You're amazing, Brie," he'd say, kissing my forehead before heading out. Most women would complain about me working so much. Most women. The comparison always made me work harder to be the understanding girlfriend. I never wanted to be like his ex, Jordan, who he described as suffocating and always checking up on him. Our relationship had been so solid before that, weekend trips to Lake Tahoe, talking about future plans, meeting each other's families over holidays. My mom adored him. "He's the one," she'd whisper when he volunteered to help with dishes at Thanksgiving. Even my perpetually suspicious older sister, Vanessa, approved. "It feels different this time," I told her over brunch one Sunday. "Like we're actually building something real." Around month 4 of his extended hours, his behavior shifted in subtle ways. His phone was suddenly always face down. He'd step onto my condo balcony to take calls, his voice dropping to an inaudible murmur. If I walked outside, he'd quickly end the conversation with an unconvincing, "Just work stuff, boring." One night, when he was in the shower, his phone lit up with a text. I'm not proud of looking, but something in my gut told me I needed to. The message preview simply read, "Can't wait to see you tomorrow. Miss you already." The sender was listed as Mark, work. Mark with a heart emoji. When I mentioned it casually the next morning, Kyle didn't miss a beat. "Oh, that's an inside joke at the office. Mark's this new guy who's super enthusiastic about everything." His explanation was smooth, practiced. "The heart thing is because he's always kissing up to the bosses." I nodded, sipping my coffee, pretending to be satisfied with that answer. But that night, I checked his Instagram following list. No Mark at his company. In fact, looking through his tagged photos and company website, there was no Mark at all. That was the first crack in our foundation. Then came the mysterious late-night shower routine. Kyle never showered at night before, he was strictly a morning shower person, but suddenly he needed to rinse off the moment he arrived at my place, often past 11. One night, I noticed a faint scent on his shirt before it hit the hamper. Not his usual cologne, something softer, more floral. Still, I rationalized. Maybe his gym changed soap dispensers. Maybe it was a coworker's perfume from an innocent hug goodbye. When you love someone, you become exceptionally talented at crafting plausible explanations. The business trips started 3 months ago. First Phoenix, then Portland, then San Diego. Each time, his social media would go quiet, and his texts became sporadic and generic. Miss you. Hotel's nice. Super busy with meetings. During his San Diego trip, my college roommate Alicia texted me, "Hey, isn't Kyle supposed to be out of town? I swear I just saw him at the Grove Shopping Center." When I confronted him, he seemed genuinely confused, then laughed it off. "That's crazy. I was literally in a conference room all day. Someone has a doppelganger." He even FaceTimed me from what appeared to be a hotel room the next morning, the San Diego skyline visible through the window. I later discovered you could set virtual backgrounds on FaceTime. The plumbing issues story came next. Kyle claimed his cousin Tyler had a major water leak in his apartment building, affecting several units. As the only family member in town, Kyle said he needed to help out, staying there a few nights a week. Tyler was going through a rough divorce and needed the emotional support anyway, he explained. I'd met Tyler twice at family functions. He seemed nice enough, if a bit reserved. When I suggested we both go help, Kyle quickly dismissed the idea. He's embarrassed about the state of the place, Kyle said. Plus, he's really struggling with the divorce. Just guy stuff, you know. He needs space to vent. It made sense. I didn't push. Kyle developed a pattern, Monday and Thursday nights at Tyler's, the rest with me. When he stayed over, things were almost normal, except for the constant texting. Always work emergencies, or Tyler having a hard night. Then came the Instagram photo. Jamie, a peripheral friend who didn't know me well but recognized Kyle from various social gatherings, sent it with a simple message, "Isn't this your boyfriend?" Confused. The image knocked the wind out of me. Kyle, looking happier than he'd been in months, his arm wrapped possessively around a slender woman with chestnut hair and a brilliant smile. They stood in what was clearly a newly furnished living room, cardboard boxes still visible in the background. The woman, Megan, was holding up a set of keys triumphantly. The caption stabbed deeper, "Love building a home with you. Here's to new beginnings. Hashtag moving day, hashtag homeowners." 63 likes. 17 comments congratulating them. Posted 3 weeks ago. My hands shook as I called Jamie. I wasn't sure if I should send it, she admitted. But it seemed weird. They had this housewarming thing last weekend. Everyone was talking about how they'd been looking for a place together for months. I thought you should know. Months? Yeah. From what I gathered, they've been dating since at least January. I'm so sorry, Brianna. January. We celebrated our 3rd anniversary in February. He'd given me a necklace with 2 intertwined hearts. After the call, I sat motionless on my couch for hours. The betrayal was so elaborate, so calculated. This wasn't a drunken mistake or a moment of weakness. This was methodical deception. Kyle had constructed an entire parallel life while maintaining ours. I considered confronting him immediately, unleashing the hurricane of pain swirling inside me. But something stopped me. Perhaps it was pride, or maybe a newfound clarity cutting through the shock. He didn't deserve my tears or my rage. Not directly, anyway. Instead, I channeled that energy into action. First, I documented everything, screenshots of the Instagram post, text messages about Tyler, bank statements showing his decreased contribution to our shared expenses coinciding with when he must have started splitting costs with Megan. Then I methodically removed him from my life. Changed the locks. Removed his name from my visitor list at the building's front desk. Cancelled our shared streaming accounts. Reorganized the furniture to eliminate the spaces that were his. But the real satisfaction came from packing his things. Everything he'd left, clothes, toiletries, the expensive whiskey collection he prided himself on, even the spare key he thought I didn't know about, went into neatly labeled boxes. I was meticulous, professional almost, including an inventory list with each box. Finding Megan's address was surprisingly easy. The Instagram photo showed a distinctive neighborhood backdrop. A quick Zillow search of recent sales, cross-referenced with the moving date mentioned in comments, led me to a charming craftsman-style house in a trendy area across town. I chose a delivery service that required signature confirmation and timed it for when social media activity suggested they'd both be home. In the largest box, buried beneath his winter sweaters, I placed the framed photo of us from New Year's Eve, 60 days after he'd apparently started seeing Megan. In the photo, he was kissing my cheek, forever written in the caption. With that box, I included my note, just returning what doesn't belong here anymore. Good luck. For a week, nothing. Then a barrage of texts from Kyle. You humiliated me. You had no right. Megan's threatening to leave. We need to talk now. Answer your phone. This isn't like you, Bree. You've never been vindictive before. I didn't respond. Each message confirmed what I already knew, his concern wasn't about hurting me but about getting caught. Friends started calling. Apparently, the story was spreading. People who had attended their housewarming were reaching out, asking if I knew, offering condolences and outrage on my behalf. Kyle's carefully constructed dual life was crumbling. 2 weeks later, Jamie sent another message, thought you'd want to know. Megan moved out yesterday. She posted something vague about trusting your instincts and starting fresh. Kyle's been radio silent. I felt no triumph, no satisfaction. Just a hollow acknowledgement that justice sometimes happens without your direct involvement. Last night, 3 months after everything collapsed, I was leaving a restaurant downtown when I saw him. Kyle was sitting alone at the bar, looking thinner, his usual confident posture deflated. For a moment, our eyes met. He straightened, made a move as if to approach. I simply turned and walked away. Later, I found a voicemail. Brianna. I know you probably deleted this without listening. I don't blame you. What I did was, there's no excuse. I'm seeing someone, a therapist, I mean. Trying to understand why I would hurt the one person who never gave me a reason to doubt anything. I don't expect forgiveness. I just needed you to know that you weren't crazy. The problem was always me. I saved the message but haven't decided if I'll ever respond. Some betrayals cut too deep for words to bridge. Tonight, I'm rearranging my condo again, this time not to erase Kyle but to make the space entirely mine. I've ordered new furniture, painted an accent wall the bright teal color he always vetoed, adopted a rescue cat he would have complained about. I don't know if I'll ever fully trust someone again. But I trust myself now, my instincts, my worth, my ability to rebuild. And maybe that's the revenge he never anticipated, me discovering I was always stronger alone than I ever was accommodating his lies. Sometimes the most powerful statement isn't what you say to someone who betrayed you. It's what you build after they're gone.